Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. An absolutely gorgeous afternoon for baseball as we kick off a Peach Belt weekend series in Aiken, South Carolina. Live on the Peach Belt Sports Network, my name is Noah Adcock Howitt. Two of the top three teams in the Peach Belt at this point in the 2026 season going toe-to-toe. The first of three games on deck between the USCA Aiken Pacers and the visiting Hurricanes of Georgia Southwestern State. GSW 14-9 on the year, 7-2 in the Peach Belt. Coming off a weekend, they took 2 out of 3 from reigning national champions and undisputed number 1 overall team in the nation, University of Tampa. Trojans were caught by surprise. They could not handle the dangerous pitching duo on Fridays and Sundays of Evan Kohler and Johnny Nutt. Kohler is the reigning Peach Belt pitcher of the week. Nutt, for the fourth consecutive week, is the rookie of the week in the Peach Belt Conference. Aiken is 16-7, 6-3 in Peach Belt play, but the Pacers have scuffled a little bit as of late, have lost 3 of their last 4, dropped 2 of 3 against Columbus State last weekend, and then fell in a hard-fought road contest against number 12 Lenore-Rhine in the midweek. Pacers trying to get back on track. They've been better away from home this year, just 9-5 compared to 7-2 on the road. And they face a Hurricanes lineup that did just enough to knock off the Trojans last weekend. Drake Harmon will lead off in right field. Kelson Johnson and Devin Murphy behind him. Tripp Helgeson back into the lineup. He's missed a lot of time this year. Just 1 start on the season as he's fought some injuries, but he is healthy and in the cleanup spot playing first. Evan Wainman DHing. Edwin Melendez behind the plate, the offensive-minded catcher. Drew Reeves is over at third base. Jacob Reeves is at shortstop, no relation there. And Noah Jones back in the lineup, just his second start since Valentine's Day. He is primarily an infielder, but he's out in left field today. And as usual, the Friday night starter for the Pacers, it's the right-hander Joseph Rocher in his first year with the program. Rocher, redshirt senior out of Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. And the righty has been rock solid this year, 3-1, a 3.86 ERA, but he's looking to bounce back after giving up a career-high 15 hits last time out, gave up 5 runs in 7 innings, and took the loss against Columbus State 5-3 the final 7 days ago. 66 degrees and sunny, a light breeze out to right center field. Picturesque conditions today and tomorrow, going to get a little bit dicey on Sunday afternoon. And so both the Canes and Pacers will look to get going. Always so important to take game 1 of the series. It's Aiken, it's GSW, and it's Rocher against Harmon to start us off on a Friday evening. Joseph Rocher into his windup, and he gets a called strike on the outside corner, 5:59, about 60 seconds early. Our established first pitch time. And we are underway at Roberto Hernandez Stadium. Harmon, the only left-hander in this lineup, pops it up out into shallow center field. Evan Harding in, gives way to Johan Rodriguez. The left fielder makes the catch in shallow left center, 1 away in the top of the first. The rest of the defense for Aiken in the red jerseys and white pants, it'll be Rodriguez, Harding, and Chance Jennings left to right in the outfield. Evan Harding back in the lineup. He's been dealing with a hamstring issue the last couple weeks. Maverick Grigsby, Osmond Melendez on the left side of the dirt. Sal Lamo, Yariel Diaz on the right. The catcher is Donovan Glisson. He's been the 1A to Ryan Becker's 1B back there. Kelson Johnson, 326 batting average on the year. He'll dig in. A whole lot of righties going against Rocher today. And Johnson takes inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball, changeup, breaking ball for Rocher. Pitch to contact type of arm. Not a ton of strikeouts on the year. Rocher just shy of 7.5 per 9 innings. Finds the inner third, 1-1, the count on the second baseman. Johnson, team leader in walks and strikeouts, has been very patient at the plate, but in 3 games against the Trojans, he walked just once. 20 free passes drawn, however, in 23 ball games. Rocher the 1-1, and that's sliced into left field for the game's first base hit. Off speed stayed up, and Johnson takes advantage. The Hurricanes have their first base runner. And that is something to keep an eye on because stolen bases are a big part of the Hurricanes game on both sides of the ball. They run incredibly well, but they do not control the run game very well. They are 32 of 36. Opponents are 31 of 34. So whichever team establishes themselves as a more premier stolen base threat will have the opportunity to garner an early advantage in this conference matchup. Here's Devin Murphy. Another right on right out of the stretch for the first time, and Rauscher rifles in a called strike one. Fastball heavy diet in the early goings, left that breaking ball up to Johnson and paid the price. Kelson Johnson was slightly out in front, but still able to find the grass between short and third. Slider, that's a much better one this time to Murphy. It's 0-2, taken on the outside corner. Johnson a perfect 4 of 4 stealing. Runners so far this year against Donovan Glisson have not had much success. He has caught 5 of 16, a well above average 31%. 0-2 fought off, back to that slider just off the outside corner, and Murphy keeps the battle going. Good power for the 6'1 junior. Couple long balls on the year for Murphy. He's got 4. That's tied for the team lead. And he goes down swinging off the outside corner. First strikeout for Rauscher. And there's 2 away in the top of the first. The Hurricanes offense, although they took 2 out of 3 in upset fashion against Tampa, were outscored overall 8-7 in that series. Both wins were by a final of 2-1. Pitchers duels on Friday and Sunday, and with Nutt on Sundays and Kohler on Fridays, that has been the case more often than not. Slider taken for a called strike. The batter is Tripp Helgeson. As we mentioned, he has not been in the lineup very frequently this year. Made his first start of the year in the Sunday contest against Tampa and promptly made an impact. He went 3 for 4 with a home run. Slide step popped back foul. Glisson will chase over up against the dugout of Southwestern, and he's not quite able to secure it. Ran towards the brick facade that comes up and barriers the first base dugout, which houses the Hurricanes here at Roberto Hernandez Stadium. Looked like it might have kissed off the net about a third of the way up. Glisson unable to secure it, but it's still 0-2 on Helgeson. Rauscher looking to work around the one-out single from Johnson and post to 0. Hurricanes trying to extend. The 0-2 coming from Rauscher. Runner on the move. Pitch is down. Glisson's throw is on target, but it skips into center field. Johnson will try to take third. He is in without a play. It's the first throwing error of the year for Donovan Glisson. It comes at an improper time. A stolen base for Johnson, and E2 pushes him up to third. And just like that, the Hurricanes are 90 feet away from the game's first run in the game's first half inning. Throw short hopping under the glove of Sal Lamo. Ran towards the first base side. That's been the trend as of late. But Lamo could not pick it. Rauscher now with his focus exclusively on Helgeson. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the breaking ball. So the error does not come back to bite the Pacers. Back-to-back Ks for Rauscher, and we are scoreless as the Pacers come to bat for the first time on the Peach Belt Sports Network. USC Aiken coming to bat for the first time in the bottom of inning number 1. Evan Harding back atop the order for first-year head coach Keith Gorman. Had missed the last week and a half, at least in a starting role with a hamstring issue, but we had seen him pinch hit late in each of the last 2 games. That moves Chance Jennings back to the second spot. Yariel Diaz and Blake Martin behind him. Sal Lamo hitting 5th and playing 2nd. Johan Rodriguez continues to man left field, although he's a catcher by trade. The catcher is Donovan Glisson, who hits 7th. Maverick Grigsby, the freshman, at 3rd. And Osman Melendez will round out the order and play shortstop. That starting 9, the unenviable task of taking on senior righty Evan Kohler, the first-year Hurricane, transferring in from the Division I level. He came in from USF, and he has been brilliant. Kohler 5-0, a 1.85 ERA. He racks up the strikeouts, nearly 13 per 9 inning, and he K'd 15 in a complete game win over Tampa last Friday. Something has to give as Kohler, a lot of strikeouts. The Pacers don't strike out very often. Evan Harding will be the first man to face the righty. Kohler's first pitch fastball misses a little bit high and inside, and that's one thing to know about Evan Kohler is he is going to be fastball dominant, especially early in counts. Wants to challenge with the heater and force you to hit it. Out of the stretch, runs in and misses further inside. Harding ahead 2-0. Kohler 6'2", 210 out of Orange City, Florida. This is his 3rd program and first one out of the Sunshine State. Was previously at Polk State Junior College. You'll hear that name a lot today. Harding late on the fastball, 2-1. There's a handful of transfers on both sides of the ball from Polk State Junior College. The reason for that, second-year pitching coach Jordan Barrett of Southwestern State was previously at Polk State for a season. And so he has established a nice little pipeline with his former program. Harding ahead 2-1 on Kohler. And it runs in and hits him. Got him right on the elbow guard. Melendez, the catcher, is trying to say he turned into it. And it looks like the home plate umpire agrees. Harding turned away from the content of the baseball. And the home plate umpire is saying that he got hit intentionally. And so that's going to make the count 2-2. Keith Gorman wants an explanation. The Pacers get hit at a high clip. They've been hit 54 times in 23 games. There is a difference between not getting out of the way and actively trying to get hit. And that's what Keith Gorman is arguing. Not only that there was no intent to get hit, but certainly that it should not be a strike in his mind, as that pitch was going to miss inside undoubtedly. Instead, it's 2-2, and Kohler, a man who doesn't need much help, gets it in his first at-bat. A change of fortune for Harding. Nothing but fastballs from Kohler. The righty, a deep breath, and he gets the fastball elevated, and Harding goes down swinging. So one call changes the entire complexion of the at-bat. From hit by pitch to strikeout, Harding set down swinging.
Right fielder number 2, Chance Jennings.
GSW's defense, Reeves and Helgeson on the corners, Reeves and Johnson up the middle. That's Jacob Reeves at short, Drew Reeves at 3rd, and then Jones, Murphy, and Harmon across the outfield. The catcher is Edwin Melendez. He has had a lot of trouble stopping runners from stealing this year, but folks haven't gotten on very often against Kohler. Chance Jennings trying to change that, and he takes a called strike off the inside corner. About a half ball in, but well received by Melendez. Target was not inside, but he snapped it back to the edge. Jennings leading the team in batting average, hitting .420, and that's all the way to the backstop on the fly. Kohler tried to mess with the timing of the right-handed hitter. Went to the slide step even with nobody on base, and he was unable to find his target. Still have not seen a secondary pitch from Evan Kohler. 7 pitches, 7 fastballs. There's the first breaking ball. It nearly hit Jennings. A lot of arm side deliveries, both misses and corner catchers for Kohler. And for the second straight at bat, a Pacer is ahead. Jennings, like Harding before him, a 2-1 count. Kohler from the belt, and Jennings pops it up out to center field. Drifting towards right center, that's Murphy's domain. And he makes the catch, 2 down in the bottom of the first. Devin Murphy, good range out there. It will be interesting to see how Noah Jones handles left field. He's an infielder by trade. But as we mentioned, he did not start much over the last couple of weeks. Had a lot of defensive issues on the left side of the diamond in the first month of the season. And now he moves out to the grass. Yariel Diaz looking to avoid the 1-2-3 frame. Takes the breaking ball high and tight. Diaz, sixth-year senior, is transferred around a handful of times and now following Keith Gorman from Barton to USC Aiken, as many players have done. Kohler's 1-0, back to the curve, and it's laced out into left center field. That's down for a base hit. Murphy cuts it off in the gap. A big turnaround first from Diaz, and he will hustle back in with a 2-out single. Breaking ball stayed up more than Kohler might have liked, and Diaz takes advantage.
The designated hitter, Blake Martin.
Extends the inning for Blake Martin, one of the only left-handed hitters on this roster and the only lefty in the lineup for Keith Gorman. We'd seen Cam Austin playing some outfield, another lefty, with Harding out, but with Evan Harding returning to center. Blake's the one and only. DH out of Irmo, South Carolina, gets a fastball high and outside. This is an interesting matchup to watch to see if Kohler diversifies his approach at all, because Blake Martin is as good a dead red fastball hitter as you will see in this lineup, and he knows fastballs are Kohler's forte. Gets another fastball, it misses outside, so we have not seen the changeup yet from Kohler. It has been fastballs or curveballs. And all of the curves have either been missing arm side or have sat in the middle in third. Diaz at first, not a lot of speed, still held on by Helgeson. 2-0. On the ground softly to Johnson at second. Martin was out in front of the fastball, and he goes down on the 4-3 putout. Both sides get a man aboard with a base hit, and both sides leave that man stranded. All zeros through one in Aiken. Scoreless through one at Roberto Hernandez Stadium. Pacers and Hurricanes facing off for the first of three straight games this weekend. Peach Belt Conference play in full swing. Southwestern second in the conference entering this weekend out of 11 teams. Aiken right behind them at 6-3. One of three teams sitting with twice as many wins as losses on the dot, even though Columbus State beat USC Aiken in 2 out of 3 by the Peach Belt's math. Aiken is still listed above them by virtue of overall record. The batter is Evan Wainman, the right-handed DH, and he's late on the fastball, pushing it foul down the third base line. Wainman, Melendez, and Drew Reeves due up 5-6-7 for the Hurricanes under 8th-year head coach Josh McDonald. Southwestern looking to make it back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2023, and they're well on their way with a solid start to the year. Those 2 wins against Tampa will carry them a long way. Fastball called for a strike at the knees. Those are the kind of victories, a series win at that stay in the committee's mind all the way up to Selection Sunday when we get to regional time. Joe Rauscher ahead 0-2 on Wainman. Check swing on the slider. He did not go upon appeal. Rauscher struck out the last couple batters he faced in the first inning. Stranded Kelson Johnson at third. Johnson arrived there via a single, stolen base, and E2. Wainman holds the hands high and away from the body. Target outside, and the breaking ball backs up on the big righty, evening the count 2-2. Wainman 6'2", 235 out of Lithia, Florida. Program with a ton of Florida-based players. And a lot of JUCO transfers overall. 2-2. Popped up a mile high towards the center of the diamond. It's the second baseman Sal Lamo making the call, and he backs up to make the catch. Wainman found the barrel but was underneath the high fastball, and he's retired to kick off the top of the second. Here's Edwin Melendez. Had a brilliant weekend against the Trojans, 5 for 11 with his third home run of the season. First year with the Hurricanes program, played at 2 different junior colleges over the last couple seasons. Lake Sumter State and the University of Fort Lauderdale. Rauscher from the windup. First pitch breaking ball on the ground out to short, gobbled up by Melendez. Nice stretch from Diaz, 2 up, 2 down in the second inning. So Rauscher has retired 4 in a row since Kelson Johnson hooked a slider into left field. 2 up, 2 down. He's looking for a clean inning. Drew Reeves stands in his way. Reeves spelled R-E-A-V-E-S, not to be confused with the man on deck, Jacob Reeves, R-E-E-V-E-S. And both on the left side of the dirt at shortstop and third base respectively, because that's not confusing at all. Fastball off the outside corner, not gloved cleanly by Glisson, but with nobody on base, it does not matter. It's been a bit of a difficult transition to the 4-year route for Drew Reeves. Takes this one for a called strike. His offensive numbers have been solid this year, 276 starting every game. But for a man who was a junior college Gold Glover last year at Pensacola State, he is leading the team and leading the conference in errors with 13. Called strike 2 on the right-handed third baseman. Rauscher has begun to get on a roll, a much different tune than what he showed last week against Columbus State. Looking to put away the side in order. And he overchucks the fastball up around the bright white helmet of Reeves. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Deuces wild in inning number 2. Reeves looking to pass the baton to his fellow Reeves and takes it just off the outside corner. So a full count for Rauscher. Retired the first 2 men with ease. Outfield playing deep against Drew Reeves. Target outer third from Glisson. Rauscher a deep breath and jams the fastball inside. Reeves punches it back to stay alive. Rauscher came over from Barton along with Keith Gorman, and he has been the Friday starter every single weekend series so far. Got the opening night nod and has not looked back. 7th pitch of the at-bat. He against Reeves. Into his windup. Got him swinging. Elevated fastball, and he blows it past Drew Reeves. 3 Ks and 2 scoreless for Joe Rauscher. Offense looking to get going against Kohler on the other side of the break. Evan Kohler looked good in his first inning of work. Scoreless bottom half of inning number 1. Gave up a 2-out single to Yariel Diaz and nothing more. Fastball heavy diet. He used that to strike out Evan Harding. Got a pop-up and a weak ground ball, the other 2 outs in the inning. Sal Lamo, the second baseman, will lead off for USC Aiken. It will be Lamo, Rodriguez, and Glisson. And because Martin was the last out, the next 8 batters for Kohler will all be same-sided hitters. Evan Kohler, 5+ innings in every game that he has started this year. There's 6 of them in total. 4 of them have been quality starts. So he's built to go long and had a short first. First pitch to Lamo is yanked down the third base line, foul. Lamo a little bit out in front. We saw that from Martin as well. Blake was so excited to be hitting in a fastball count. Got one that he was sitting on. But good life on that fastball. He was unable to barrel it up. Lamo with the bat parallel to the ground. Takes a called strike. Sal's got that little hitch in his swing. It's a bit of an awkward load with the hands. But it has worked for him all season. Hard to argue with a .367 batting average. Kohler has him behind 0-2 and misses upstairs with a breaking ball. Lamo's on an 8-game hit streak. He has multiple hits in each of his last 6 games, and he also leads the team in hit by pitches with 10. Lots of ways on base for the second baseman. Kohler looking to put a stopper on him, and does with a high fastball. Back-to-back innings, Kohler has begun with a K, and they have been identical. Elevated heaters to righties, and they have been unable to lay off. That's where Kohler's heater plays the best. He's got good life on that fastball. It hops out of the hand. Strong extension for the 6'2 right-hander. And because it looks so similar to the curveball out of the hand, not only have folks been late on it, but they also respect it much higher when there's a chance it drops back in. The batter is Johan Rodriguez, and he takes the breaking ball. Up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. Johan, 10 starts. He leads in most offensive categories, on-base slugging and batting average. Although very much a small sample size. He's played in just about half the games. Pops this foul over the first base dugout, 1-1. Rodriguez, multiple hits in 7 of his last 8 games. The transfer from Charleston Southern has found a home out in the outfield and has looked all kinds of comfortable in the right-handed batter's box for USC Aiken. Kohler likes the sign he sees from Melendez. Target at the knees on the 1-1. Lined out into right center field. Rodriguez continues to find ways on base. He's got a 1-out single. Able to just go the opposite direction with a fastball on the outside half of the plate. Pushes it in front of Harmon. Pacers have a base runner for the second consecutive inning, and now Donovan Glisson will try to move that man into scoring position. Glisson, good bat control. He does lay down a good bunt, and we have seen him play the small ball game a couple times. Reeves at third, playing a couple steps behind the bag. Glisson, more speed than your average catcher. See what he does against Kohler. Curveball taken a little bit high. Glisson sinking into his knees, shrinking that 5'9" frame all the more to make sure that seemed as high as possible to the home plate umpire. Rodriguez 2 of 2 stealing, fighting the sun to see the signs from his third base coach. 1-0. In on the hands and shot skyward behind home. Melendez flips the mask away and makes a 2-handed catch right in front of the fencing. That's what that fastball can do. That late life up in the zone, either jamming a hitter or inducing the pop-up. That did both, and Glisson is retired without moving Rodriguez up to second. 2 down for Maverick Grigsby, only freshman in either starting lineup. The Hurricanes are incredibly veteran-heavy. There are only 3 true freshmen on the roster. None of them have seen much time. Kohler a quick pick over to first on Rodriguez. Johan in with a routine dive. Grigsby has been the everyday third baseman since opening night. Check swing on the fastball, a bit indecisive, and it dribbles towards the dugout of GSW. Hurricanes 3-5 on the road this year. This is the first of 5 consecutive games they will play away from home. Weekend series here, and then 2 midweek games back-to-back against number 11 West Florida. This is lofted into shallow right field. Grigsby loops it towards Harmon, and Harmon makes the catch to end the second inning. Aiken gets a runner in the form of Rodriguez, unable to move him past first. All zeros through 2 on the Peach Belt Sports Network.
Shortstop number 4, Jacob Reeves.
Jacob Reeves leading off the top of the third for the Hurricanes. No score through 2 as Joseph Rocher and Evan Kohler duel side by side. Fridays and Sundays, it's been very difficult to score any runs against the Hurricanes. Pacers uncertain of who their Sunday starter is likely to be. We can assume that will be matched up against the freshman Johnny Nutt. Fellow freshman Ben Shepard likely to go tomorrow for the Pacers. And the Hurricanes, we do not yet know who that will be. First pitch from Rocher to Reeves is fouled straight back, strike 1. The last couple Saturdays for GSW have been primarily bullpen games. Each of the last couple outings have been Tevin Montgomery going with short Saturday starts. He got hit hard against AU a couple weekends ago. Slider hooked foul, 0-2. Pacers have gone bullpen game on Sundays past. Miles Chabe usually ends up getting a long relief role, but in each of the last couple cases, Kerry Herndon Brown has been the opener, and Nick Napolitano generally factors it at some point as well. No balls and 2 strikes on Reeves. Rocher's got 3 Ks already through 2. The Pacer ace lifts and deals and misses outside. Shepard got all the national attention as his collegiate debut in Game 2 of the season was a no-hitter, the first of the Division II calendar and the first in recorded history in Division II to start their career and have your first collegiate game be a no-hitter. Did so in less than 90 pitches as well, but in terms of overall reliability, it has been the veteran Rocher who has steadied the rotation. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jacob Reeves to begin the third. And it's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Rocher paints up the outer edge, a good frame from Glisson on the backhand. 4th K, first one looking, and Rocher retires the leadoff man once again.
Noah Jones.
6 straight Hurricanes retired by Rocher. Noah Jones, the 9-man, wearing the number 39 today instead of his usual number 9 jersey. Gets his second consecutive start. He had not started from February 14th through March 7th. Called strike 1 on the right-handed hitter. Jones transfer from Chattahoochee Valley Community College in his home state of Alabama. Hitting .324. 11 of his 12 hits this year have been singles, but he has found a way on base consistently. Takes it on the outside corner. Rocher is just absolutely robotic at the moment. quickly getting the sign, getting right back on the rubber and ready to work. Finding the pace that has worked best for him. 0-2 to Jones. Taken just off the corner. About a ball and a half outside. Glisson stuck it well, but not well enough to get the call from the home plate umpire. Strong take from Jones, and he stays alive. Target back outside, the 1-2. Down goes Jones on the slider. Fifth strikeout for Joe Rocher. Retires 8 of 9 batters in his first time through the order, including each of the last 7. And now he's back at the top with Drake Harmon, who popped up to begin the game. Only lefty in the lineup, just one lefty for both sides. Harmon stands deep in the left-handed box and takes a rare changeup for a called strike. Rocher dials back on the velocity and spots up the outside corner. Shadows beginning to creep from the third base side towards that foul line. Going to start having an impact on the men at bat within the next inning or so. Elevated fastball misses 1-1. Six o'clock start on the sunny side of daylight savings means a whole lot more daylight to work with. Sun sets beyond the third base side here at Roberto Hernandez Stadium. Not much breeze to speak of at the moment, otherwise picturesque. Harmon ahead, 2 balls and a strike. And he takes it off the inside corner, a close miss for Rocher. And he has just his second 3-ball count in his first 10 batters. Rocher looking to avoid the walk, and he will not be able to do so. Gets a couple close misses off the inside corner. Didn't like the lack of a call, but Harmon draws the free pass. And the Hurricanes have a man aboard for the first time since the first inning.
Kelson Johnson.
That other base runner climbs to the plate himself. Kelson Johnson has the Hurricanes' only hit at the moment. Redshirt junior digs in at the ready. Last time the Canes had a base runner, Johnson stole second off of Glisson and Rocher. Harmon not in motion, and an uncomfortable 2/3 swing for Johnson. Got fooled on the slider, 0-1. Lamo playing towards the middle, a quick pickoff before coming set for Rocher. Harmon was not caught by surprise and was in before the tag from Diaz. Another pickoff, similar result. Rocher continues to monitor Harmon, who's 5 of 5. On the stolen bases this year. Outfield very deep, all across the diamond. Slider outside, 1-1. Hurricanes offense saw some lesser competition in the first half of the season and did exactly what they were expected to do. 10 games with 10 or more runs out of the 23 played. Misses outside, 2 balls and a strike. Hurricanes took care of teams like USC Buford in emphatic fashion, but they also went up against a handful of teams that have a chance to do something special this year. Fastball gets the call on the inside corner, 2-2. Hurricanes took 2 out of 3 to open the year from Trevecca Nazarene, who just knocked off top-ranked Catawba College in a couple ball games. And then took 2 out of 3 from Tampa. 2-2 pitch from Rocher. Strike 3, swinging. Johnson late on the fastball. 3 Ks in the inning for Rocher. He's got 6 in the game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a man left on. To the bottom of the third we go. Osman Melendez set to lead off the bottom of the third here on the Peach Belt Sports Network. I'm Noah Adcock-Howarth, riding with you all weekend long in this three-game set between the Pacers and the Hurricanes. USC Aiken took 2 out of 3 here last year against GSW. All time in the series, USC Aiken leading 33-21. Pacers had a dominant run in the early part of the 21st century, where they won 14 consecutive ball games against GSW when they first joined the D2 level back in 2007. Southwestern has been strong as of the last few years. They have missed the Peach Belt Conference Tournament just once since hiring Josh McDonald, who's in his 8th season. That was back in 2021. Pacers have made the conference tournament each of the last 3 years, but they were under 500 in 3 of 4 years under Michael Holder. First pitch fastball misses outside to Melendez. Evan Kohler in his 3rd inning of work has allowed 2 hits and has struck out 2. Both Ks have come to start off the inning. Top of the order waiting in the wings. Right on right for Melendez. And he takes it a little bit inside, 2-0. Pacers at 16-7, slightly overshooting expectations already. They were projected 7th of 11 teams in a crowded Peach Belt. GSW projected 4th. Melendez ahead 2-0, and he pulls it on the ground softly to third. Reeves gobbles it up, and a nice stretch from Helgeson gets out number 1. Leadoff man put away for the 3rd consecutive inning by Evan Kohler. First time the leadoff man has put the ball in play. And back to the top we go for Evan Harding's first start in a couple weeks. Harding, an interesting at-bat to begin the game. Got ahead 2-1. Got hit by a curveball high and tight, but was ruled to have leaned into the pitch. That was a called strike 2, and then Harding chased the next pitch he saw. Turned a free pass into a strikeout. Takes this one down the gut with a curveball. Called strike 1 as the return throw from Melendez to Kohler is muffed. No man on base means no harm, no foul. Harding, one of 2 sixth-year seniors on the roster. A lot of veterans for Keith Gorman. And Harding drops the hands and loops the fastball straight back. 0-2 the count. Evan, 3 years at Brunswick Community College, 2 seasons with the Barton Bulldogs. Hit .342 over 98 games. And now making his 17th start with Aiken. 0-2. Inside, that's the first changeup of the day from Evan Kohler. Harding saw it all the way and watched it rustle in near his front hip. Evan Kohler still ahead. Target low and away from Melendez. Fouled back on the fastball. Kohler, such a deliberate release, he lost his hat in the process. But he continues to truck along. One base runner has reached in each of the first 2 innings, but no cause for alarm. The 1-2 delivery. Called strike 3. Good curveball from Kohler. He sets Harding down on strikes for the 2nd time. 3 Ks in total for the big right-hander.
The right fielder, number 2, Chance Jennings.
Kohler looking for that first 1-2-3 inning of the day. Chance Jennings is back in the box. He flew out to right center field in his only at-bat. Was tracked down in the gap by Devin Murphy. One outfielder flying out to the next. Chance back in right field today. He had been holding down center in Harding's absence. It's a good option to have in the corners. Jennings a little late on the fastball. Perceived velocity just a little bit more than the actual velo for Kohler. The fastball plays up, so to speak. Gets life out of the right hand. It jumps upon release. Fastball misses up, 1 ball, 1 strike, and now those aforementioned shadows from the top half have begun to creep towards home. So the baseball starting to drift from sun to shade right as it gets to the swing decision. 1-1 to Jennings. Curveball dropping into the top of the zone. Not necessarily the intended spot for Kohler, but a good spot nonetheless. Jennings gave up on the pitch, and now Kohler is one strike away from a 1-2-3 third. The pitch. Fastball laid off of Jennings. Ever the patient hitter runs the count even. All three hits between the two sides have been singles. The only man to get past first base was Kelson Johnson. He did so on a stolen base and an error in inning number 1. 2-2 on Jennings. Kohler from the belt. Line to the right side, and Johnson makes the catch on a couple of steps. Hit hard, but in the wrong spot. It's the first 1-2-3 inning for Kohler. He faces the minimum, and we have no score through 3.
Pacers, no runs, no. Murphy.
Middle of the Hurricane order will get their second look at Joseph Rocher here in the top of the 4th. Redshirt senior out of Pennsylvania has retired 9 of 11 batters faced, 1 hit, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. Those 6 Ks already tied for the most he's had since opening day, where he tied a NCAA career high with 8. Been as good as we've seen Rocher look so far this year. Murphy, Helgeson, and Wainman stay in his way. Devin Murphy takes a called ball just off the outer edge. Transfer from Coastal Alabama Community College South. He was all-conference twice in the Alabama Community College Conference. 1-0. Slider taken on the inner third for a called strike. And the ACCC might as well just have a pathway program to the Peach Belt, because just about every program in this conference goes to that conference time and again for JUCO transfers. Outside 2-1. Keith Gorman brought so many players with him from Barton that he did not go the JUCO route as extensively as some other teams have, but especially the teams on the far side of Georgia from the Pacers, such as Columbus State and GSW, pulling from Alabama heavily. 2-1. Runs in and nearly clips Murphy, who's ahead 3 balls and a strike. Rocher has fallen behind each of the 3 batters he has faced second time through. Harmon walked, Johnson struck out. Now Murphy 3 balls and a strike. And he misses inside ball 4. So for the first time for either team today, the leadoff man is on. And that will put the pressure on Rocher a little bit here in the 4th, as Southwestern looks to strike first. These two teams separated by about 4 hours and 200-plus miles of drive time. GSW coming up from Americus, about halfway between Columbus and some of the other key towns down in that direction. Slider missing outside. Trip Helgeson is the batter. Helgeson struck out in his first look. That's 5 out of 6 missing for Rocher. The slide step does not help the command, make it 6 of 7. And Glisson will take a couple steps in front of home to try to slow down the big right-hander. Rocher was cruising through the first couple of innings, but as the lineup has turned back to the top, Difficulties have become a bit more commonplace for him. Helgeson patiently ahead. Takes a called strike. That is the perfect pitcher's pitch to get back in the count. Not much Helgeson could do with that one. As much power as he possesses. And there is a lot of power on this Hurricanes roster. 22 home runs in 23 games. The 2-1 misses back downstairs, and it's another 3-ball count for Rauscher. You have to figure another miss here might prompt a visit from pitching coach Davin Conway, who does have an established rapport with Rauscher. 3-1. Runs in and hits him. Rauscher rushed the pitch, back-to-back free passes, and here come the Hurricanes in the top of the fourth.
The designated hitter, number 34, Evan Wainman.
In a pitcher's duel like the one we have seen through the first 3 innings, every mistake is magnified, and here comes Davin Conway. And we talked about the relationship that they possess. These two gentlemen overlapped during Conway's playing career. They were together at Immaculata College, Division III, up in Pennsylvania. Conway had a 7-year college career, including walking onto the football team at Knox College out in Illinois. But for the 2 years that Rauscher had at Immaculata, where he dealt with some injuries, he did overlap with Conway a little bit. Then Rauscher was able to head on to Hartford Community College in Maryland, one of the premier JUCOs outside of the southeastern region, before heading to Barton and now here. Conway will look to slow down his old teammate before Evan Wainman takes his swings for the second time. Home plate umpire will only now meander out to the pitcher's mound and try to break up this triumvirate. Glisson, Conway, and Rauscher deep in conversation. A walk and a hit by pitch have put 2 men aboard for the Hurricanes without an out in the fourth. The 3 and 4 hitters getting on base, and now Wainman, who has 20 RBIs on the year, has a chance to bring home the game's first run. Leads the team in batting average and slugging percentage among qualified hitters. And he's riding a 5-game hit streak. Out of the conversation in the pitchers' meeting, the first one from Rauscher. Gets a swing and a miss from Wainman, who was a bit non-committal. Product of Newsom High School, Kelson Johnson, his best friend. They played high school ball together, they went to Polk State together, and now they've made their way to GSW together. Both in the starting lineup for Josh McDonald. Infield thinking double play. Rauscher misses low and outside. A great block from Glisson. He went hurtling into the left-handed batter's box, and not only did he keep that one in front of him and prevent the wild pitch, but he also somehow gloved it cleanly. There was no ricochet for Murphy to read. At the behest of the third base umpire, Rauscher is told to toss the ball towards his own dugout. Went to the fingers, wet the whistle at the lips, and then drop back down. If you do not wipe off properly on the pant leg, oftentimes the ball will be tossed out of play. And that's what happened there, 1-1. Outside corner called for a strike right on the edge. And with 3 consecutive takes, Wainman behind 1-2. This is where the shadows are at their worst, because the ball is released in sunlight and then disappears into the shade. It will be that way likely for the rest of the fourth inning. 1-2. Outside, a good take from Wainman. That delivery was rushed just a little bit by Rauscher. He very nearly committed a balk by not coming set. And both times that he has done that, he has missed glove side. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Wainman on the hitter. 7 Ks for Rauscher. And he is a ground ball away from escaping this inning with another 0.
The catcher, number 25, Edwin Melendez.
It's a big at-bat for Edwin Melendez, who does not run especially well as a whole. Pacers have turned 27 double plays as a defense this year, and they are thinking about number 28. Melendez grounded out to short his last time up. Lamo holding on Murphy. The breaking ball misses upstairs. "15 RBIs for the redshirt junior. Trying to score Murphy on anything past the dirt. Inside move from Rocher, and he just lazily tosses it back to second. So far this year, you've unfortunately had to hold your breath a little bit when Rocher picks off. He leads the team in errors with 4, tied with Maverick Grigsby, and for a pitcher who's made just 6 appearances, that's a bit of a concerningly high number. Fastball outside 2-0. Has missed on opposite sides of the dish and fallen behind Melendez. Nothing in play this inning. Nothing in play last inning either. The last man to put the ball and make contact was Melendez. 4 Ks, 2 walks, and a hit by pitch. Fastball popped up out into shallow center field. Lamo, Melendez, and Harding converge. It's Evan Harding the catch for 2 down. Out into the triangle, you like to see your center fielder take control, and that's exactly what he did. Harding loses the hat, makes the play, and there's 2 down in the top of the 4th. The batter is Drew Reeves. He's got 23 runs driven in already this year. That's 3rd on the roster behind only Josh McDonald, who's not in the lineup for the 2nd straight day, and Devin Murphy, who's out at second base. Reeves struck out swinging to end the 2nd. Silver and red bat tucked behind the right ear. The first pitch coming from Rocher after a long pause. Slider called strike. Good frame from Glisson. Rocher's got a strikeout in every inning, including this one. He has multiple Ks in all but the 2nd. No balls and a strike. Lifted out into deep center field. Harding going back. He's at the track and makes the catch right in front of the wall. Reeves found the barrel, but didn't quite have enough juice. Hurricanes leave 2 men aboard. They are held scoreless as Rocher bounces back and keeps it tied 0-0. Still no score in the bottom of the 4th inning. Hurricanes put their best effort forward, a walk and a hit by pitch to start the top half against Joseph Rocher. But Rocher, after a calming visit from Davin Conway on the mound, went strikeout, pop up, and deep fly out to center to keep the Pacers equalized without a run. Offense trying to find its bearings against Evan Kohler, who himself has been impressive, and at this point, impressive has been the norm for him. Former South Florida Bull has found a home out in Americus, and the Hurricanes have utilized him as the Friday night guy ever since he joined the program. Yariel Diaz leading off. He takes a called strike 1, dotted onto the outside corner. Kohler's put away the last 5 batters since Johan Rodriguez singled with 1 out in the 2nd inning. Diaz has the team's other hit, and he fouls this back 0-2. Kohler just continues to attack. He has gotten better with getting ahead against hitters inning by inning. After falling behind plenty in the first, he continues to get into plus counts. 0-2. Fastball misses upstairs. Kohler lost the hat in the process. Pulls it back atop the long blonde hair. Jones surprisingly shallow in left. The other two outfielders a traditional distance. A lot of pull side power for Diaz if he can access it. Fastball misses high and tight. Hat falls off again for Kohler's high effort delivery. Count even 2-2. Kohler all conference in back-to-back seasons at Polk State. Had 160 strikeouts there and has added K after K here at GSW. Diaz fights off the fastball to stay alive, well located on the outer third. Nearly 13 strikeouts per 9 innings. Kohler's got 1 in each inning. 3 of his 6 starts he's had double digits, including 15 against Tampa last week. Another 2-2. Runs in and hits Diaz up on the left shoulder. Looked like the changeup. Just the second time we've seen that from Kohler. Both have been against right-handers. Both have missed arm side. He nearly hit Harding with a changeup in the third. Now he does hit Diaz and lets him off the hook. Both offenses getting the leadoff man aboard in the 4th inning after failing to do so in innings 1 for 3. It's a second chance for Blake Martin, who grounded out softly to second, ending inning number 1. Got a hittable fastball, but did not find the barrel. Once again, he bats with Diaz aboard, and this one is lined sharply down the left field corridor, but it hooks foul and one hops off the sidewall. Martin's been searching for an extra base hit over the last couple weeks. He's 3 for his last 18. Still leads the team overall in extra base hits, though, and is atop the conference in doubles with 10. Lingering shoulder issue on his right side has limited his power somewhat. 0-1. Fastball misses upstairs. Infield double play depth. Martin does lead the team in double plays hit into. Southwestern has turned 22 in 23 games. 1-1 on Martin. Line softly into center field. Murphy coming on. It falls in front of him. Diaz had to hold, and he is out on a close play. Diaz did not slide, and very few umpires at this level, whether it's the correct call or not, are going to reward you for going in standing up. Diaz hesitated. Murphy bluffed it well, and so Yariel is cut down at second base. It's a fielder's choice instead of a base hit. So it costs Martin a knock. It costs the Pacers a man in scoring position. And it keeps the inning-ending double play as a possible option for Kohler and the Hurricanes against Sal Lamo. First pitch to Lamo misses. That's number 48 on the game for Evan Kohler through 3 1/3. Count has been solid. He has not been phased with any significantly long innings. Martin a hefty lead. Kohler, 2 looks, he picks over, but a soft throw gets the leaning Martin back in time. That was well played by Murphy. Diaz just did not get a good read off the bat, and the throw rifles down the right field line. Helgeson lost it in the sunshine. Martin advances up to second, and we'll see whether the error is on the throw or on the missed catch. That was a very catchable baseball for Helgeson. And for the moment, it's going to go against the starter Kohler. So Martin advances 90 feet on the E1. Helgeson just lost it in the sunshine. We've talked about that already, how much of an impact it's played. Now the Pacers have a man in scoring position. Lamo skies it down the left field line. Reeves up to the fence. He runs out of room. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was a bit of a quick pickoff move for Kohler. He was trying to get Martin as he stretched into his primary lead. The throw was a bit high and a bit glove side, but Helgeson just did not see it whatsoever in the sun. Ball was put perfectly into the Rays, and Martin gets 90 feet out of it. 1-1 on Lamo, and he pops it up on the dirt. Johnson calls off Helgeson and makes a two-handed catch, 2 away. So the Pacers have a man in scoring position for the first time. They are now 0 for 1 with men in scoring position as a result of that pop-up from Lamo. And so Johan Rodriguez will try to bring the first run of the game home. The 8-4 putout at the moment, the biggest play of the inning so far. The fielder's choice, they got Diaz at second base. Rodriguez 1 for 1. On the ground out to shortstop. Reeves on a clean hop over to first. And Rodriguez is dispersed off. Kohler threw 4 scoreless with just 2 hits allowed. The error does not haunt the Hurricanes. And we continue this scoreless parade into the top of the 5th. Joe Rocher threw 4 scoreless. He has given up 1 hit, walked 2, and hit 1. He's also put up 7 strikeouts, his second most in a Pacer uniform. So far, the most is 8. That was back on opening day against Morris Hill. And Rocher has looked even more impressive tonight than he did then, although the total is lower in a smaller innings total. Reeves, Jones, and Harmon, 8-9-1 for the Hurricanes. Jacob Reeves' first pitch swinging, lofts it behind shortstop. Melendez out to the grass. He makes the catch, 1 pitch, 1 out in the top of inning number 5. After a bit of a lengthy 4th inning, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Rocher. Able to keep the pitch count down a little bit as he tries to extend himself. Pacers had to use 5 different pitchers, 4 relievers in the midweek loss to Lenore-Rhine. Noah Jones 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He takes the off-speed in the dirt. At 67 pitches, threw 4 1/3 for Rocher, so not quite as efficient as his counterpart Evan Kohler. But still on a quality pace, especially as strung out as he has been this year. Fastball at the knees, 1-1. Rocher, like Kohler, has continued to take the ball deep into games. He went 7 innings last time out. And although he gave up double-digit hits, he scattered just 5 runs in a losing effort. That was 13 hits allowed, his career high. Fastball on the corner, 1-2. Rocher's got 3 quality starts this year, and he has gone 6 innings or more in each of his last 5 outings. Like Kohler, all of his outings have been 5+. The 1-2. Inside, nearly got a piece of Jones, who hung tight on the 1-2 pitch. Evens the count on the 9-hitter. Top of the order, waiting for GSW. Fastball elevated and too high. Good job by Noah Jones on 2 takes to run the count full. Hurricanes would love nothing more than to set the table for Drake Harmon. The payoff. Fisted softly on the ground towards third. Grigsby on the run. Double clutches. The pick is not in time. A tough running play for Maverick Grigsby, and Jones hustling down the line beats it out for an infield single. Scoreboard says error. We'll see what the call ends up being. Official scorer says hit. Scoreboard says error. We'll see what the call ends up being. Jones is in safely nevertheless. 1 on, 1 out for Drake Harmon, who has walked and popped up today. We'll see if Jones gets credit for the knocker night. The discussion will continue. Harmon fouls back the fastball. No balls and a strike. Senior out of Tampa leads the team in runs scored. He has crossed the plate 30 times and is currently riding a 14-game hit streak, the longest on the team. Had exactly 1 hit in each of his last 2 games, but able to continue getting on base. Lefty against the righty, Rocher from the stretch, and it's poked foul off the end of the bat. It appears as though the call has been changed to a base hit. That's what it was on the official score from the get-go. So Jones is 1 for 2. Grigsby will not get saddled with his 5th error of the season. And it doubles the hit total for GSW. 0-2 off the inside corner, a close take with the fastball. That stood Harmon up, tried to run it back to the inside corner, but Rocher was unsuccessful. Jones is 2 of 4 stealing this year, and you saw on that infield single that he does possess the quickness down the line. Short lead for the moment, 1-2. Called, strike 3 with the changeup. 8th K of the game for Rocher. Locks up Harmon. There's 2 down in inning number 5.
Second baseman number 35, Kelson Johnson.
It brings up Kelson Johnson. Utility man's at second base today. He's 1 for 2. The Jones single was the first hit since Johnson when he was the second batter of the game. A line drive into left field. First pitch taken for a called strike on the outer half. Now nearly all of the infield within the confines of shadow. A stretch of sunlight across a shallow outfield and into right where Chance Jennings lives in the glow. Rocher's 0-1. Front door slider just misses despite Glisson's best framework. And a reminder, this is the first of 3 consecutive ball games over the course of this weekend between the Pacers and Hurricanes. Tomorrow's game at 2 o'clock Eastern and then a 1 o'clock matinee finish on Sunday afternoon. Ball and a strike. Runner goes. The pitch is called down. Throw is on target and not in time. Jones sliding feet first right into the glove of Lamo. It looked like he would have beaten it anyway. But the hard slide from Jones kicked the ball towards shortstop. Hurricanes are 2 for 2 swiping bags today. Jones is now 3 of 5. Both stolen bases have come with 2 outs. Southwestern has had a man in scoring position 3 of 5 innings. 2-1 on Johnson. Outside ball 3. It's another slide step that we've seen from Rocher, and just about every time he has gone to that well, he has missed low and away to righties. So changing up his timing has kept the runners at bay for the most part, but at the cost of command. Fastball pumped down the right field line, foul and out of play. Towards the back half of the Hurricane bullpen down the right field line. Canes in their all-gray traditional roads, Pacers red and white, often the case on their Friday home games. A full count on Kelson Johnson. It's still scoreless in the 5th. 3-2. Called strike 3. Outside corner. Back-to-back backwards Ks from Joe Rauscher to strand a man out at second. He's got a new season high in punch-outs, 9 through 5 innings. We're halfway home without a run on the board. Evan Kohler, just 51 pitches in 4 innings, as efficient as you can be. This Southwestern State bullpen has been a little bit up and down at times. Cooper Sane has been the most solid man among them. But quite frankly, more days than not, especially on the weekends, the Hurricanes haven't had to go too deep into that pen. Exhibit A right on the mound right now as Kohler continues to dial through. 4 scoreless, 3 Ks. He has allowed 2 hits. He has not walked a batter. Bottom of the order looking to make something happen. Aiken trying to get on the scoreboard. Donovan Glisson leading off the 5th. And he takes ball 1 after showing bunt. We mentioned it last time that Glisson was at the plate. That was with a man at first and less than 2 outs. It was a sacrifice situation. Glisson handles the bat well and has more speed than your average catcher does. So the bunt is a possibility. Reeves now even with the bag at third. The 1-0. Cut on and missed. Glisson over top of the slider. Was a big, emphatic swing for him, and his momentum carried Glisson across home plate. He went hurtling into the opposite batter's box. Took the long walk and resets before the 1-1. Kohler from the stretch. The bunt is laid down to the third base side. Kohler bare hands over to first and handles his defensive duties with aplomb. Leadoff man put away. Ball was struck a bit too far towards the pitcher's mound. It stayed in that in-between area, but with not enough power to get it past the pitcher. And so it was well within the ability to be played by Kohler. Glisson deadened the baseball well, but not enough, and he is retired. Maverick Grigsby is the batter. Grigsby takes a called strike 1. 55 pitches to get through 16 batters. Kohler not very many deep counts, especially the second time through the order. The only free pass a hit batter of Diaz with 2 strikes. Grigsby very late on the fastball, 0-2. Just 2 well-traveled veteran right-handers going toe-to-toe and matching each other stride for stride. The 2-strike pitch tipped nearly out of the mitt. That ball almost entirely into the glove of Melendez before he was able to be poked away. Grigsby lives to see at least one more. Target at the knees. Off-speed misses high, 1-2. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for both teams. The Hurricanes have left on 5, the Pacers 3. Other than that, identical. Another 2-strike offering, and it misses down to even the count. Slightly overthrew the fastball, and Kohler will ask for a new pearl. Grigsby, true freshman out of Lugoff, South Carolina, just up the road from here. Making an impact as a first-year man. 6th pitch of the AB. Called strike 3 at the knees. A bit of a hesitation from the home plate umpire, but a good frame from Melendez. Gets the called strike. A late call that understandably frustrates Keith Gorman, but it's the 4th K for Kohler nevertheless. Pacers do not have a hit since the 2nd inning. Osman Melendez trying to change that fact. Redshirt junior takes a called strike. Good first pitch off speed from Kohler. Aiken has had really no answer for the big right-hander. And the same could be said more often than not for GSW against Rocher. Kohler's 0-1. Called strike off the outside corner, about a ball and a half off. That's as far as we have seen the home plate umpire expand the zone today. And Aiken's frustration grows after calls on back-to-back batters that they have vehemently disagreed with. To the benefit of Evan Kohler, the 0-2. Fought off on the high heater. That was a pitch designed to end the inning. Elevated fastball thrown so mightily that Kohler lost his hat again. But Melendez continues to battle. Trying to extend this bottom of the 5th. Avoid the 1-2-3 feint. and he is unable to do so. A good breaking ball for Kohler. First inning with multiple strikeouts for the right-hander. Kohler has K'd 5 through 5, and there is still nothing but zeros on the mound. Five innings down here at Roberto Hernandez Stadium on the campus of the University of South Carolina at Aiken. Two Peach Belt foes going toe-to-toe, and there is nothing but zeros to speak of. 2 hits per side, 1 error per side, but neither side has cracked onto the scoreboard. Joseph Rocher, Evan Kohler dueling on the mound, and the 2 starters are still out there. Rocher 9 strikeouts through 5 scoreless. His best outing as a Pacer. Now he faces Devin Murphy to begin the inning. Pitch clock is at 2, and time will be asked for by Glisson. As when Rocher stepped off the back of the mound to reset things, adjusting the jersey and the white baseball pants, the clock did not reset at first, so Glisson will use the timeout to avoid the automatic ball. Now Rocher's ready. First pitch slider down the third base line, and it's fair in towards the corner. Murphy a big turnaround first. He will be into second base standing. It's a lead-off double for Devin Murphy. First extra base hit of the game. Just a seeing eye ground ball past Grigsby, who was playing off the line. Devin Murphy leads the team in extra base hits. That's his 10th double of the year. And the threat has begun once again for Southwestern. They have flirted with scoring a couple times, including the last time Murphy led off the inning, where he walked. There was first and second with nobody out before Rocher went strikeout, pop-up, and fly-out to keep the Hurricanes off the board. Trip Helgeson has not put a ball in play. He has struck out, and he has been hit by a 3-1 curveball. Homered in his first start of the year on Sunday. The inside move sends Murphy scuttling back to second. Murphy leads the team in steals. He's a perfect 8 for 8. Tied with Caleb Gibson, who's not in the lineup once again. Gibson and McDonald had started every game until Sunday. Rocher to the plate. Slider called strike at the knees. Nobody up in either bullpen yet. The pitch count is notably higher for Rocher compared to Helgeson, or compared to Kohler, rather. Neither team has had to utilize the pen yet. Back to the slider. Helgeson pulls off, 0-2. Rocher 9 strikeouts and counting through 5 strong innings. Looking to get Helgeson for a second time tonight. Inside move. And the pass floated in the general direction of Lamo. Once again, Murphy was practically on the base before the throw came from Rocher. But it counts as a disengagement if you do not throw the baseball, so you might as well toss it that direction. 0-2. Swing and a miss. 3 straight sliders, and Helgeson is disposed of that quickly. That ties a career high for Rocher. 10 strikeouts The previous time he had 10 came back at Hartford Community College at the beginning of 2024 against the Montgomery College Raptors in Rockville, Maryland. At a ballpark where center field is 465 feet from home plate. Evan Wainman's 0 for 2. First pitch misses down. Having thrown at that ballpark, it's one of the more comforting experiences you can have as a pitcher. Game's first run is in scoring position. Fastball on the corner, 1-1. Wainman's driven in 20 so far this year. He has not pulled one out of the infield yet today. But anything that does get down on the grass, Murphy has a chance to score. On the ground to the left side, past the diving Melendez. Murphy had to hold, so he will get the stop sign at third, but Wainman's first hit of the night puts men at the corners, and for the first time since the first inning, the Hurricanes are 90 feet away from plating the game's first run. Osman Melendez gave the best effort he could, laid out towards the grass trying to knock it down. He unlikely would have been able to get Wainman even if he had made the play, but keeping it on the dirt likely would have prevented Murphy from advancing. With men at first and third, Glisson will bark out the play. Wainman, 2 steals already this year, likely to be in motion in some capacity during this at-bat. Edwin Melendez will be the man to hit. First pitch from Rocher. Good slider. Has Melendez pulling off. Melendez out of Kissimmee, Florida. Had such a great weekend against Tampa. Slider chopped softly back to the mound. Rocher will look the runner back to third. He goes to first. Now the runner breaks for the plate. The tag is not in time. A delayed break from Murphy and the RBI ground out gives the Hurricanes the lead. Rocher gave a look at Murphy at third, but because Grigsby was not covering the base, even though Murphy was a ways down the line, he could not make a throw. Rocher went for the sure out, and then Murphy, who has such great speed, immediately took off towards home, got in front of the low throw from Diaz. Melendez with his 16th RBI of the year, and the Hurricanes lead 1-0. It all began with a double for Devin Murphy. First pitch misses high to Drew Reeves. The extra base hit set the table, and small ball got it done the rest of the way. Wainman up over to second base. Pitch in the dirt gets Reeves chasing. 1 ball and 1 strike. And now there's a righty up in the bullpen for USC Aiken. After 5 2/3 with 1 run allowed for Rocher. That was his 90th pitch of the game. Fastball in on the hands, fouled back. That might have been the first time the slide step led to a ball in the zone for Joe Rocher. Trying to limit the damage to the 1 run that has crossed. Drew Reeves looking to double that lead for the Hurricanes. 1-2. Got him with the fastball. Ran in and hit Reeves right between the ribs. Rocher with a long look back at second. Trying to keep an eye on Wainman. He was late to pick up his target at home, and he left the fastball arm side. It ran right in and plunked Reeves. There's 2 on with 2 out and a man in. And now Jacob Reeves will look to take advantage of the extended inning. First pitch to Reeves. Slider called strike. That sharp breaking ball has worked time and again for Rocher. who has limited hard contact all day. The hardest hit ball was Drew Reeves, who flew out to end the fourth, all the way to the warning track in deep center. Rocher delivers, and this is lifted out to deep left center field. There's some solid contact. Harding in front of the wall will put it away. So Rocher does limit the damage, but the Hurricanes, on a ground ball back to the pitcher, take the lead. The game's first run comes from Melendez scoring Murphy, and GSW has a lead for the first time. For the first time tonight, Evan Kohler can pitch with a lead. He only needed 2 runs to get the win over first-ranked Tampa last Friday in a 2-1 victory. He's been even better tonight at limiting hard contact. Hard to be better than the 15 that he struck out in 9 innings against Tampa 7 days ago. He has struck out 5 in 5 innings tonight, but so far the Pacers are scoreless. Georgia Southwestern a 1-0 lead. RBI ground out in the previous half from Edwin Melendez, scoring Devin Murphy. Evan Harding is the Aiken batter. He's first pitch swinging, and just like that, the tying run is on as Harding lines a single into center field. Third time through the order, Harding got a slider he could handle, and the Pacers put a speedy runner on. How speedy remains to be seen, because Harding has been dealing with that hamstring issue, and hamstrings have a tendency to linger. He's felt good enough over the last 2 games prior to tonight to come in and pinch hit, but he was then immediately pinch ran for both times. We'll see if that factors into the calculation with Chance Jennings batting now. Reeves in at third base. Rocher, or rather Kohler, picks over to first unsuccessfully. Joe Rocher, 6 quality innings, his 4th quality start of the year if he is done, and the bullpen is going for the Pacers. Jennings 0 for 2, pops it straight back and out of play. Ten strikeouts for Joe Rocher, the most he has had at the NCAA level, tied for the most he has had in all of his college career. No balls and a strike. Jennings got jammed and floats it in towards the Hurricane dugout on the right-hand side, 0-2. Kohler bouncing back well after that leadoff single. And the pitch count is still very much not a factor for him. After going 9 strong last week, you know that he is stretched out enough that he could give you well over 100. And he's certainly below that now. 0-2, misses high. At 66 pitches through 5+. Continuing this pace could keep Kohler in line to flirt with another complete game. It's a big if with 12 outs to get. Harding shuffles off the 1-2. Fouled back again. Another fastball running in on the hands of Chance Jennings. Junior out of Batesburg, South Carolina. tied a program record earlier this season with 5 hits against the Flying Fleet of Erskine. Also had a home run in that game, and time was called. Jennings going back towards the dugout. Looked like an equipment issue, whether he was going for an additional batting glove or attaching the signs of some sort to his right-hand wrist. He was getting something from the dugout that was quickly reattached, and now he's ready to go again. Kohler still ahead 1-2. And it's fouled off the facing of the Hurricane dugout once again. That's the epitome of a pitcher's pitch. A slider just off the outside corner. Too close to take on 1-2, but not easy to do anything with. And credit to Chance for sticking in all the way, kept his nose on the baseball, and just plocked it out opposite direction to stay alive. Harding remains at first. He has had an average lead in just about every pitch. Now a bit further. Another 1-2. Overthrown to even the count. Jennings lays off at the eyes. This is where the Pacers want to be, at the top of their order, as they look to match the run or potentially more that was scored in the top half. Another 2-strike pitch. And down goes Jennings on the fastball. Got tied up on the heater inside. Kohler wins the battle, his 6th strikeout of the day. And with that, it is confirmed that for the 7th consecutive outing out of 7, Kohler will go more than 5 innings. At the moment, he is officially qualified for the win. 1 on, 1 out for Yariel Diaz, the only man who has been on base twice for the Pacers. He has singled and been hit by a pitch. Fastball upstairs, ball 1. Into the dusk time hours here in Aiken. Lights have kicked into full effect. Sun certainly no longer a cause for concern on either side. Hurricanes with a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 count on Diaz. Late on the fastball. Kohler, who has quality stuff to be sure, has also just pitched with such a competitive mindset. He has made very few poor pitches overall and has not paid the price when he has. 1-1. Fastball challenging right in the heart of the zone, and Diaz was late once again. Velocity has held firm for Kohler into the 6th inning, and the late life it has at the top of the zone has kept Pacer hitters off balance all night. 2 strikes on Diaz. Fouled off the end of the bat. Fastball outside, getting that kind of swing sets up a lot of different options for Kohler, because he can either go to the slider further off of that pitch that will tunnel well, or then elevate the fastball up and in with the eyes of Diaz now set outside. See which direction he and Melendez want to go on 1-2. Kohler from the belt. Big chopper over to third. Reeves in fair territory. A long throw, not in time. Diaz hustling right out of the box, able to beat out the infield single, and there's 2 on at the same time for the first time all day. USC Aiken's got multiple men aboard, and the tying run is in scoring position for Blake Martin. Martin hit a line drive into center field last time that more often than not would be a base hit, but the ball fell right in front of Devin Murphy. Diaz, who had been at first base, was faked out, and so it was a fielder's choice as he was thrown out at second base. Martin takes a called strike on the inside corner. It's been that kind of result the last few games for Martin. Nothing has quite broke his way. He's now 3 for his last 19. And this would be the moment to break out. Kohler from the stretch. Misses down. A good take from Martin. Blake has good pull side power, but he has been peppering the opposite direction over the last couple of weeks, as more and more pitchers have stayed out of the inner third against him. Infield double play depth. Misses inside. Took a little off there, and Kohler does not get the call. Harding at second, Diaz at first. Harding went at full speed, notably the quicker runner of the two. 2 balls and a strike. Back up the middle, base hit. Harding flying around third. He gets the wave. Murphy comes up throwing. It's not in time. Blake Martin comes up big. The RBI single ties it up at 1 in the 6th. Team high 27th run batted in for Martin.
Second baseman number 8.
The Hurricanes opened up the gates in the top half, and the Pacers answer back in the bottom. 1 run aside with 2 on. Martin gets ahead in the count, gets something he can handle, shoots it right back up the gut. It took a big hop off of the back of the pitcher's mound. Eliminated any chance of Keldon Johnson getting a heroic play up the middle. Sal Lamo is the batter. He takes ball 1. Now the go-ahead run in scoring position with Diaz out at second. Pacers have finally gotten to Kohler in the 3rd trip through the order. Fastball taken at the knees. Another good pitch from the righty Evan Kohler. Still no action in the Hurricane bullpen. Kohler is up over 80 pitches now. Lamo has struck out and popped up. He takes that one at the knees for a called strike. Melendez dropped the baseball, and he's lucky that Diaz held out at second. Melendez's 6 pass balls lead the Peach Belt, and that would have been the 7th. Keith Gorman disagreeing with the home plate umpire after he realized that was called a strike. It was towards the bottom of the zone, but Melendez rewarded for a miss. Now a 1-2. Misses outside. Gorman has had some questions about the zone more often than not today. And one thing we've learned in the veteran head coach's first year with the Pacer program is he will voice those displeasures rather adamantly. 2-2. Called strike 3. Lamo was frozen on the fastball, and Kohler picks up strikeout number 7.
The left fielder, Johan Rodriguez.
When we talked about changing the eye line of the hitter in that previous at-bat against Diaz, that is to what we were referring. Everything had been away for Lamo, so all of his intention was to the outer half of the plate. Then Kohler runs the fastball in, and there's nothing Lamo can do. 3 singles and 2 strikeouts in the inning. 1-1 game for Johan Rodriguez, the left fielder. Slider called strike. And now it appears that Georgia Southwestern will get some movement in their bullpen. Couple different arms beginning to stretch. Nobody throwing just yet. Kohler looking to keep this game tied. Slider called strike off the outside corner, a little bit extra. Singles for Harding, Diaz, and Martin. Blake Martin's base hit, tying this game at 1. After the Hurricanes open the scoring in the top half. Kohler to strand 2, and he does. Fastball right at the knees. Back-to-back backwards Ks with the go-ahead run in scoring position. The Pacers knot the game right back up, but cannot bring the go-ahead run home. 3 singles, 3 Ks in the inning, and we head to the 7th, 1-all. 1-1 after 6. We expected this to be a weekend full of close games. These are two teams that will play just about every opponent at their level as close as possible, and that's exactly what we've gotten. Dro Rauscher, along with Evan Kohler, both 6 innings and both 1 run, and Rauscher's back out there for the top of the 7th. Approaching the 100 pitch mark, and he will start off against Noah Jones, who's 1 for 2. Jones at the bottom of the order takes ball 1 inside. Had an infield single to third last time up. And it looks like C.J. Lincoln is warming in the bullpen for the Pacers. The lefty has been brilliant this year. Fastball pulled on the ground to third, backhanded by Grigsby. High throw, Diaz makes the catch, puts the tag on, and a nice adjustment from the veteran. Boy, when you're a freshman infielder, first year in college, certainly helps to have a 6th-year senior over there receiving every throw you make. Diaz bails out the freshman, and there's 1 down in the 7th. Back to the top we go. Drake Harmon is 0 for 2. A pop-up, a strikeout, and a walk for the lone lefty Hurricane. Under 8th-year head coach Josh McDonald. 14-9 this year, 30 games above 500 overall. Thought about the bunt. Harmon pulls back. It's a called strike anyway. McDonald has a better-than-not chance to get to 200 wins with the Hurricanes this season. And Harmon just got hit. Rauscher ran it too far inside. And those free passes that so often come back to bite you at this level mean a little bit more when it's at the top of the order.
Number 35. Kelson Johnson.
A speedy outfielder, Drake Harmon, gets aboard, and Kelson Johnson, who's 1 for 3, will get another shot against Rauscher, who's now up over 100 pitches with that delivery. Lincoln looks just about ready in the pen. He'll be facing nothing but righties for the foreseeable future. Johnson a single and 2 strikeouts. Slider called strike. Again, the home plate umpire, a little hesitation, but it was on the corner and consistent with what has been called tonight. Harmon 5 of 5 stealing. The Hurricanes are 2 of 2 this evening against Donovan Glisson. 0-1. Misses a little bit down. From the stretch, 1-1. Runner got a late break, and it is scooped foul. Out of play, and for Drake Harmon, it's probably a good thing that it was. Johnson putting that out of play likely saved him because Glisson, who has a good arm, if he makes any kind of good throw there, Harmon is likely dead to rights. Donovan has already caught 5 of 18 runners this year, including tonight's total. Rocher's pickoff not in time. With Kohler having gotten through that 6th inning with just the 1 run allowed, there is currently nobody throwing in the Hurricanes bullpen, although there is more of a presence there than there was previously. 1-2 on Johnson. Pulled foul towards the Aiken dugout on the third base line. Pacers 6-3 in conference play. A win today would tie them for second with GSW at 7-3. And they would have the better overall record. Aiken entering the day 16-7. Southwestern 14-9. Another 1-2. Runs in and hit him. Slider backed up, got a piece of Johnson, and that is back-to-back hit batters at the top of the order for Joe Rocher. And now it looks like we're going to get some vocal displeasure from Keith Gorman, who was trying to ask how that hit batter is different from what Evan Harding got called for leaning into in the bottom of the first. Gorman arguing that if one was turning away from it and still shooting the elbow out towards the zone, then that should be the same thing, believing this was called inefficiently. There was a little bit of inconsistency there, but regardless, now the go-ahead run is in scoring position in the top of the 7th for the Hurricanes' best hitter. And Keith Gorman appears ready to make a change. He has not made the point yet. But given that it's him and not Davin Conway, you can likely draw a conclusion. We will see if that becomes official, or if Murphy will get to see Rauscher for a fourth time, as he's 1 for 2 with a walk. Thus far, nothing signaled. A run, 4 hits, and an error for Georgia Southwestern. 1 run, 5 hits, and 1 error for USC Aiken. The walks and hit batters, though, have been the difference. Rauscher has hit 4 men, all in the last 4 innings. He has also walked a pair and struck out 10. So there has not been much put in play, positive or negative, for the Hurricanes. And now, it looks like Keith Gorman is ready to take the baseball. He has made the call. He will make the move. It looks like C.J. Lincoln will be the new arm, and he's in a big spot in the 7th when we return on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Junior lefty C.J. Lincoln, Aiken native in his first year with the program, comes on for his continued work on the mound out of relief. This will be the 8th outing of the year for the Pacer lefty. 4 of those 7 have been scoreless. He went 6 1/3 innings of relief against Columbus State and took a hard loss in 12 on Sunday afternoon. Just continued to go until he could go no more, and finally gave up a couple runs that ended up being the backbreaker in that 4-2 loss to the Cougars 5 days ago. Lincoln, low 3/4 slot, bit of a crossbody delivery, can be tough to pick up for righties and lefties alike, and now he's got 7 consecutive righties in his way, from Murphy down through Jones before he sees Harmon again. Drake Harmon at the second base spot right now. He was hit by a pitch, as was Kelson Johnson, who's over at first. Lincoln 2-1, a 1.74 ERA. Murphy is 1 for 2. First pitch from C.J. Lincoln, low and inside, snagged by Glisson to his left-hand side. Lincoln low strikeout numbers, although he did punch out a handful on Sunday in the biggest of moments. Go-ahead run at second, 1 down in the 7th inning. Bounced back up the middle. Melendez steps on second himself, throws over to first in time with a stretch from Diaz. C.J. Lincoln comes on and does exactly what he's here to do. A 6-3 double play sends us still tied into the 7th inning stretch. It will continue to be Evan Kohler on the mound for the moment. 89 pitches through 6 innings of one-run baseball. Got 3 strikeouts in the 6th inning, but also allowed 3 singles that led to the game-tying knock from Blake Martin. That being said, Kohler's strikeout total is now up and over the 1 per inning mark. He is at 8, including each of his last 5 outings. Donovan Glisson was the last man to be retired without a strikeout. And he's first pitch swinging, fouling off the inside fastball, 0-1. Glisson tried to bunt his way on last time up. Was cut down by Kohler. He also popped out in foul territory to the catcher, so 0 for 2. And everything has been right around home plate for him. Glisson takes it inside, 1-1. He'll be followed by Grigsby and Melendez at the bottom of the Aiken order. Pacers neutralized a threat in the top half. C.J. Lincoln came on and induced a 6-3 inning-ending double play off the bat of Devin Murphy. The 1-1. Breaking ball check swing. Poked foul, 1-2. Final line for Pacers starter Joe Rauscher. 5th-year senior goes 6 1/3, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 1 run allowed. He struck out 10. He was brilliant, going blow for blow against Kohler. 1-2 count on Glisson. And he hooks it foul up and over the Pacer dugout on a bounce. Kohler trying to jam the right-hander again. That's worked a couple times. Not quite able to get the swing and miss here. Again, the Hurricanes have multiple men stretching in the bullpen, but nobody throwing. And Kohler continues to stack strikeouts in the late going. Target outside. And it's inside on a fastball, pulled foul once again. Not where Melendez was set up, and it caught enough plate for Kohler to turn on it. Pacers are into their bullpen. C.J. Lincoln showed last weekend just how long he can go. And we'll see how long Keith Gorman tries to ride him. Might have gone a little too long in that loss in extra innings. Still 1-2 on the first batter of the bottom of the 7th. Hit deep out to right field. Harmon going back. He's at the warning track and makes the catch. Glisson a hard hit out number 1. Leadoff man retired to begin the 7th.
The third baseman, Maverick Grigsby.
Nobody on and a man out. Maverick Grigsby will look to get on base for the first time. He has popped out to right field and struck out looking. As Evan Kohler continues to get the outs when he needs them the most. First pitch breaking ball misses high and inside. Kohler coming up on 100 pitches. Territory he has traversed time and again. Grigsby late on the fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike with 1 out in the 7th inning. Right at 8 o'clock here on the East Coast. Pacers and Hurricanes fighting tooth and nail. Fouled off of Melendez and into the backstop, 1-2. Both sides looking for their bottom of the order to come up and create something. The RBIs so far have come from the cleanup hitter Martin and the 6-hitter Melendez. Count 1-2. Slider hit on the ground to the first base side. Helgeson a sliding stop to his left. He races to the bag. 2 up, 2 down on a fine play from Tripp Helgeson.
Shortstop, Osmond Melendez.
Kohler has retired the last 4 batters since Blake Martin's RBI single. And nothing would do more for his potential to come back out than retiring Melendez here quickly. Osmond Melendez, as opposed to the Hurricane catcher Edwin Melendez, is 0 for 2. Whiffs over top of the slider, 1 ball and 1 strike. That was the 100th pitch of the night. Count 0-1. Jones stays shallow in left, Murphy slightly deeper in center, Harmon the deepest of the three in right. Front door breaking ball, 0-2, and Melendez throws his hands up in disgust. Didn't like the call, but it was well located. Kohler could not have put it any better. Looking to get through 7 one-run innings on a Friday night on the road. The 0-2. Swing and a miss in the dirt. Blocked by Melendez. He throws to first and gets the strikeout. Kohler with 9 Ks in 7 one-run innings. Lincoln's going back to the mound, and we are still tied going on to the 8th inning. C.J. Lincoln needed just a couple pitches and one batter to get 2 outs for the price of 1 and keep this game tied in the top of the 7th. We're on to the 8th on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Noah Adcock Howarth with you. Game 1 of 3 between the Pacers and Hurricanes. In a 3-game set, oh so important to take the opener. Puts all the pressure and all the onus on the opposite side to make up ground on Saturday and Sunday. Saturdays have been a problem for the Hurricanes. Sundays have been dominant with the freshman lefty Johnny Nutt on the mound. And so both sides knowing how much this opener means. 1-1, Rocher against Kohler was the starters duel. Now it's Lincoln in against Tripp Helgeson, who fouls off the first pitch he sees deep into the Aiken night. Still nobody throwing in the pen for Georgia Southwestern. They've ridden Kohler this far. Might as well go further. Helgeson 0 for 2. Takes inside. Tripp Helgeson has not put a ball in play yet. He has struck out twice and been hit by a pitch. Outfield plays him the opposite way. Harding in the right center gap, and a brilliant changeup has Helgeson flailing out in front. Lincoln pulls the string, makes it 1-2. And it's that pitch that enables Keith Gorman to have so much faith putting his lefty out there against 8 consecutive right-handers. 1-2. High and outside over through the fastball. Count even 2-all. 4, 5, and 6 up for the Hurricanes. Helgeson, Wainman, and Melendez in the middle of the GSW order. Trying to get something going late. Bouncer up the middle. Another chance for Osman Melendez. Backs up. Throw is offline. A good tag from Diaz. Puts it on time and puts away Helgeson, who stumbled over the base, and now he is down and in pain. He will limp gingerly off of the field. That is the second time today that Yariel Diaz over at first has helped out his infielders. First Grigsby, now Melendez, 1 out. Brings up Wainman, and we will see how the first baseman Helgeson is in the bottom half of the inning as he has disappeared from view into the Southwestern dugout. Fastball down from Lincoln. Talked about this on the broadcast on Sunday. Third school in 3 years for Lincoln. A year each at Emory and Henry up in Virginia, and then USC Lancaster. And this is the best version of himself that he has put on display. Called strike 1-1. Since he arrived on campus at Emory and Henry, Lincoln has lost 83 pounds in 2 years. He has gotten a more decisive movement on the mound. The command has been strongly improved because his mechanics are that much more repeatable. Wainman pulls it foul 1-2. And for Lincoln to come back home, he went to South Aiken, family in attendance at just about every game he plays in, and have this kind of success in year one under a new regime. Just such a confidence builder for a kid who has worked this hard to get to this spot. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Just blows the fastball past Wainman. First strikeout for CJ. Second K for Evan Wainman. 2 down in the 8th.
The catcher, number 25, Edwin Melendez.
No drop-off from Rauscher to Lincoln. Now Edwin Melendez, who had the RBI ground out in the 6th that put the Hurricanes on the board, gets another chance. He is 0 for 3. 2 groundouts and a pop-up to shallow center. First look for him at Lincoln. Outside ball 1. A little bit of movement in USC Aiken's bullpen, just in case. Still nothing for the Hurricanes. From a closed stance, Lincoln comes home, and it's fouled back. A quick swing from Melendez. Infield playing back all the way around. Melendez does not run especially well. Have time along the dirt. Lincoln from the stretch. In on the hand, strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes. CJ Lincoln trying to go 3 up and 3 down in the top of the 8th inning. Keep this game tied at 1 in the late goings. Changeup misses outside, and Lincoln, frustrated, punches the closed fist into the side of the leg. A non-competitive miss when he was ahead in the count. Not what he was looking for. Runs it even on Melendez, 2-2. Right back into it. High and inside, an overcorrection, and the count goes full. Trying to avoid the 2-out free pass with Drew Reeves on deck. Every base runner means that much more in a tied ball game late. Full count on Melendez. Lincoln deals in the dirt, ball 4. 3 straight misses after CJ Lincoln got ahead 1-2, and the go-ahead run is on in the top of the 8th.
The third baseman, number 15, Drew Reeves.
Lincoln lets Melendez off the hook, and Drew Reeves will be the batter. He was hit by a pitch last time up. He has also struck out and flown out to the deepest part of left center field. Pacers have gifted a handful of free passes to the Hurricanes. They have not come back to bite Aiken just yet. Fastball on the outside corner. Lincoln gets ahead 0-1. Melendez has not attempted a steal yet this year. And with a lefty on the mound, he is not likely to start at the moment. Reeves at the ready, 0-1. Called strike of the knees. Glisson got underneath that fastball and presented it nicely. No balls and 2 strikes on Drew Reeves. Lincoln shuffles to a stop. Check swing held back. That is a gorgeous take from Drew Reeves. Reeves able to keep the fight going for the moment. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Inside. Ball was not caught by Glisson, but it stayed close enough. There was no advancement by Edwin Melendez. This is not the first time we have seen Lincoln struggle to find the put-away pitch this season. That's been the one blemish in his year. Now even at 2-2. Scooped foul, and Reeves stays alive. Reeves, the junior out of Pensacola, in the lineup every single game his first year on campus. 6 pitch coming from Lincoln. Late on the fastball. Got him swinging. 2 strikeouts in the inning. C.J. Lincoln, 5 outs in 5 batters. We head to the bottom of the 8th, and it is still Kohler on the mound for the Hurricanes. Big spot for the Pacers in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's still tied at 1, and Aiken's got the top of its order ready to work. And guess who? Still Evan Kohler out on the mound. Senior out of Orange City, Florida, University High School product. Been great all year, been great again tonight. 1 run on 5 hits. And he has ratcheted up the strikeouts as of late. He's got 9 in total. Harding 1 for 3. First pitch swinging, lifts it out to right field. Harmon drifting back, plenty of room, and he puts away Harding on 1 pitch. Make it 7 1/3 for Kohler and 103 pitches. Only now does a right-hander start throwing in the pen for the Hurricanes. 1 pitch, 1 out. We'll see how patient that makes Chance Jennings as he steps in. At this juncture, you'd just like to get Kohler out of that game. And that would require some deep counts or some solid contact. Has to be one or the other, could be both. Pacers will take either one. He's first pitch swinging. Fastball fouled back. No balls and a strike. Jennings a fly out to center, a line out to second, and then he struck out last time up. So he's 0 for 3. Holds the hands low, waves the bat back and forth. Pulls through the fastball, 0-2. Credit to Kohler for many things, but amongst the positives that he has shown, he has kept the velocity into this 8th inning. Long start into the night. Not a drop-off anywhere. 0-2. High and outside. That big follow-through that has lost him his hat time and again. Trying to add a little extra velocity, a little extra perceived velocity as well. Comes out of the hand hot. It has been there since the first. Still here in the 8th. Ahead 1-2. Jennings down swinging. 10 strikeouts. Kohler into double digits for the 4th time in 7 starts. What a find he has been. Transfer portal from University of South Florida.
The first baseman.
Kohler threw just twice last year. Got 1 out in 2 games. He was great at Polk State. That's why he went to the Bulls to begin with. And now GSW has found themselves a gem. Yariel Diaz fouls it back. All 3 batters in this inning have swung at the first pitch they've seen. The plan coming in was to be aggressive on fastballs in the zone, given Kohler's proclivities, to challenging batters early. Diaz 2 hits and a hit by pitch. He nubs it softly towards third. Reeves on the run, has time, and gets the out. 8 one-run innings for Evan Kohler. And a very quick inning at that. Gets it done on just 7 pitches and puts away the Pacers. We go to the 9th. It's still tied at 1 on the Peach Belt Sports Network. We're into the 9th inning. We're still tied at 1. C.J. Lincoln back to work. Reeves, Jones, and Harmon, 8, 9, and 1 due up. And while the Southwestern Hurricanes try to get the go-ahead run across home plate, attention must also be paid to the right field bullpen, where a righty continues to warm, and the question becomes whether or not Evan Kohler will be granted a chance to go out for the 9th. After going 9 one-run innings in an upset win over then number 1 ranked Tampa last Friday, he has followed it up with 8 one-run innings and has struck out 10. That's 25 Ks over his last 17 innings pitched. Jacob Reeves 0 for 3, showed bunt and then pulled back. 1 ball and no strikes. Hurricanes scored their only run in the top of the 6th, a double from Murphy, a single from Wainman, and then an RBI ground out from Edwin Melendez. Again, bunt is shown. This time it's taken for a strike. Pacers answered back with 3 singles in the bottom half of that very inning. Harding, Diaz, and then Martin the RBI. 1-1. Punched back foul. Free swinging this time. No bunt to be shown, and that will have Grigsby back up a little bit at third. Lincoln from the stretch. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Two-seam fastball running off the corner. That's 3 Ks in 2 innings for C.J. Lincoln. He had 3 in 6 innings 5 days ago. A little bit more swing and miss stuff tonight. The Hurricanes have now struck out 13 times in 25 outs. 10 against Rocher and 3 against Lincoln. Noah Jones, one of those 13. He's 1 for 3. Infield single back in the middle innings. Ball 1 just off the corner. The Pacers will have Martin, Lamo, and Rodriguez. The question will be whether they're playing to tie or playing to win. 1-0. Called strike at the corner. Count 1-1. Glisson's target outside. Fouled away off the end of the bat. Jones was a little out in front and pulled off. 5'10" junior out of Alabama. Back in the lineup for the second straight game. Count 1-2. Overthrown and it misses outside. Two balls and 2 strikes on the 9-man in the Hurricanes order. Poked back foul. Jones continues to fight. Jones replacing Caleb Gibson in the starting lineup, who had started every game until Sunday. One of 2 changes that was reciprocated from Sunday to this Friday. The other one being Trip Helgeson replacing Josh McDonald. Lincoln steps off. Wanted to get back on, did not reset the pitch clock. Now with the clock at 2, he comes home and has to rush upstairs. Missed ball 3. When he stepped off, because there was nobody on, he wanted to reset that clock. He did not get granted that. So instead of taking the automatic ball, he just tossed it in the home plate direction, missed high and outside. A full count for Jones. Fouled away. Good at bat from Noah Jones. And if he can get on base to turn the lineup over, especially with the way that he runs, it would be huge for the Hurricanes. Harmon and Johnson at the top have been on base twice each. Jones trying to get on for the second time. Called strike 3. Down looking on the fastball. Third straight strikeout for C.J. Lincoln. He's got 4 in the 7 batters he's faced. Back to the top we go. The only lefty that southpaw C.J. Lincoln gets to see, it's Drake Harmon, who's 0 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch. Lincoln 1 out away from giving the Pacers a chance to end this game in the bottom half. Harmon trying to keep the at-bats going. A little bit outside. If games 2 and 3 in this series live up to game number 1, we are in for a whale of a weekend. Ben Shepherd likely on the mound tomorrow. We'll see who goes for the Hurricanes. Chopped back up the middle. It will be played by Grigsby on a hop. Over to first in time. It's a 1-2-3 top of the 9th for USC Aiken. Retiring Reeves, Jones, and Harmon. To the bottom half we go. Pacers looking for a walk-off win. Well, after 8 brilliant innings, the starter Evan Kohler has finalized his night. 8 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. And he hands the ball over to the senior right-hander Jackson Raper, who will try to send this game into extra innings. Raper, 6 games, 1 start this year. He does not have a decision. 6.6 ERA in 15 innings. Very low strikeout numbers, a pitch-to-contact righty who will try to navigate the middle third of the Aiken order. Martin, Lamo, and Rodriguez looking for a walk-off win. Martin takes ball 1 outside. Raper, 6 foot 200 from the right side, was a starter last year, 4-4 in 12 starts. Transferred to a primary relief role this season. His only start was February 10th, but he can go long if you need him to. Martin hits it sharply to short, knocked down by Reeves. What a play, and he goes over to first. That's as tough a ground ball as you're going to see. A line shot, short hopping right to the body. Reeves plays it perfectly. And then retires Martin, who is now 1 for 4. Leadoff man retired. It brings up Sal Lamo, who's 0 for 3. Martin put that one on the screws, nothing to show for it. It's happened to him a couple times today. Lamo, 2 Ks and a pop-up. Takes a called strike on a firm fastball from Jackson Raper. Second-year Hurricane, senior overall, spent a couple seasons at Lake Sumter State College. Misses outside. Lamo started the hands, but held back in plenty of time. Aiken, 2 walk-off wins this season. Neither of them came on a walk-off hit, a walk-off wild pitch, and a walk-off walk. Slider way outside, 2 balls and a strike. Pacers got those walk-offs in succession, February 15th against Lynn University, and then February 18th in 10 innings against Coker University. 2-1, runs in and hits Lamo right between the shoulder blades. Came up and got the Pacers' second baseman. Lamo just continues to be a baseball magnet. That's his team-high 11th hit by pitch of the season.
The left fielder, number 14. Johan Rodriguez.
The winning run is on base. Keith Gorman begging for time. He is going to get it to allow Lamo to get a little bit of feeling back in his upper half. That fastball hit him as squarely as one could get hit. And you want him at 100% as he's on the bases. That winning run is on with less than 2 outs for Johan Rodriguez, who's got one of the team's 5 hits tonight. He's 1 for 3. Singled back in the second. Raper out of the stretch. Misses outside. Didn't miss by much. Infield will play double play depth. Johnson pinched up the middle, so a lot of space to the backside for the right-handed Rodriguez. Outfield still very deep that direction. 1-0. Fastball pulled off of Rodriguez late on the outside heater. Quick arm action for Jackson Raper. He gets the ball downhill very quickly. Can jump on you if you're unprepared for it, and that's what happened there to Rodriguez. Count even. On the ground to short. Taylor made for 2. Reeves to Johnson to Helgeson. Not in time. The ball skips away but stays there. And wisely, Rodriguez makes no turn towards second. It's a fielder's choice. You cannot assume the out at first, and Rodriguez was hustling hard enough that it would have been close even with a perfect throw. 2 down. Rodriguez is now the runner for Donovan Glisson. Glisson 0 for 3. 2 pop-ups and a failed bunt attempt. He was retired on a 1-3 putout by Kohler. Raper looking to send this game into extra innings. First pitch fastball misses high. The free passes are worth noting just because Raper has walked more than he's struck out this year and has multiple walks in 4 of 6. The hit batter is the only reason there's been a man on so far this inning. Down underneath the barrel, 1-1. If Southwestern forces this into extras, they will have the middle of their order against C.J. Lincoln, 2, 3, and 4. Kelson Johnson's the only man who hasn't faced Lincoln yet. He'll lead off the 10th if we get that far. Count 1-1. Lined into left field. That will fall in front of Jones for a base hit. Rodriguez holds up at second. Glisson's got his first hit of the game, and there's 2 on with 2 out for Maverick Grigsby. High fastball. Glisson gets the barrel there in time. And he whacked it out in front of Jones to move the winning run into scoring position. Chance for Maverick Grigsby to play hero. He's 0 for 3. Prior to that swing, the bottom 3 in the order were a combined 0 for 9. Glisson got the monkey off his back. We'll see if Grigsby can do the same, who is riding an 0 for 17 stretch at the moment. No time like the present to break out in a big way. Ball 1 inside. True freshman has driven in 20 this season. 22nd start of the year. Rodriguez at second. He's the winning run, a big lead. In on the hand, shot out to shallow right. Harmon is there. He makes the catch. And Grigsby is put away in the air. Pacers get 2 men on in the bottom of the 9th, but come up empty. For the second straight home game here at Roberto Hernandez Stadium, we are headed to extras on the Peach Belt Sports Network. To extra innings we go. It's still C.J. Lincoln on the mound. Seems like if we're going extras, he's going to be involved. Pacers into extra innings for the 3rd time this year. Aiken is 1-1 in extra inning ball games. Both of them have come at home. They walked off Coker in 10. They lost to Columbus State in 12 last Sunday. Georgia Southwestern 2-3-4. Johnson, Murphy, and Helgeson. Kelson Johnson 1 for 3 with a hit by pitch and 2 strikeouts. Lefty against the right-hander. We'll be saying that a lot in the coming bats. First pitch called a strike. Georgia Southwestern just 2 extra innings games this year. They are 0-2. Lost in 13 to North Greenville, lost in 10 to Trevecca Nazarene. Fastball at the knees, no balls and 2 strikes on Kelson Johnson. Lincoln 2 2/3, hitless. The only base runner a walk, with 2 outs to Edwin Melendez in the 8th. 0-2. Just a bit off the outer edge. Glisson tried to snatch it back into the zone, unsuccessful. And the battle continues. Both sides just trying to maximize the base running opportunities. Breaking ball popped into the air, shallow center field towards the triangle for Harding, and he makes the catch. Got underneath it, called off Rodriguez, made the play 1 down. Rare left on right slider. We haven't seen much of that from Johnson. And now Devin Murphy, who's 1 for 3, will get a redemption opportunity against Lincoln. He grounded into a crucial double play back in the 7th. First pitch from Lincoln, taken for a called strike. All told, Murphy 1 for 3 today. 4 hits for Georgia Southwestern, 6 for USC Aiken. Perfect changeup, 0-2. Lincoln has been in attack mode all night. Just off the corner, couldn't quite get the chase from Murphy. A good pitch, but a better take, 1-2. 2, 3, and 4. This is the big spot for the Hurricanes. Pacers will have 9, 1, and 2 due up in the bottom half. Slider, check swing, over to the backstop. Runner breaks for first. A long throw for Glisson, not in time. They never officially called strike 3. Runner pointed. But the check swing, it appeared as though he clearly went around. And so that's a drop third strike and a man aboard. Murphy reaches in odd fashion. Lincoln gets his 5th strikeout, but it's a K and a wild pitch. And the go-ahead run is on base. 1 on, 1 out for Trip Helgeson. Base runners come in any sort of fashion in extra innings. Fouled back. Josh McDonald and the Hurricanes certainly not in the business of turning their nose up at the method in which their runner gets on. Murphy 8 of 8 stealing this year. With a lefty in his face, see if he gets aggressive at all. Lincoln picks over, unsuccessful. We've seen a couple variations on that pickoff move from C.J. Lincoln. That was the lesser of 2 variants of deception. Was leaning towards first early. Off speed misses outside, 1-1. Neither bullpen has motion at the moment. Jackson Raper for Georgia Southwestern allowed a couple base runners in the 9th, but stranded the winning run in scoring position. He'll have the bottom half. 1-1. Misses down, 2-1. Trip Helgeson 0 for 3. Reached via a hit by pitch with the total amount of free passes given. 8 of 9 starters have been on for the Hurricanes. Off the corner, 3 balls and a strike. The only man who has not reached yet is Jacob Reeves. Hurricanes would love to give him another chance. It would mean they've started to pile on the runs. Helgeson in a hitter's count. Inside corner, ran it back to the edge, off the front hip. Full count, 3-2. We'll see if Murphy is in motion. Try to stay out of the double play. Lincoln has already induced one in this game. Payoff. On the ground to the left side, backhanded by Melendez, goes to Lamo for 1, over to first, not in time. A big stretch for Diaz. Tried to keep that toe on the bag. The indication from the first base umpire was not that he pulled off the bag. Umpire did not sweep his hands away from the base in that gesture. Keith Gorman's out of the dugout to argue. Right now, he's not getting a welcoming participant. Now the home plate umpire is trying to tell him that he needs to go have that conversation. Regardless, Murphy is out at second. Helgeson is on at first via the fielder's choice. There's no error called there. There is a second error on the scoreboard, but there's only 1 in total. Again, you cannot assume the out at first base. Even if that throw would have 14 hopped over there. As long as the runner does not advance past first, then you cannot assume the decision, and so it is always a fielder's choice. Pacers will take that trade. Murphy, with his plus speed, is off the bags. Helgeson, who does not run all that well, is now the base runner, and so if you have to make that exchange, and of course Keith Gorman would rather it be 2 for the price of 1, you would rather have the slower runner on for Evan Wainman. And it's not an overly confrontational conversation that's now coming to an end, but it was a rather adamant one as Keith Gorman tried to defend his defense. If the Pacers get hot at the back half of this season, Keith Gorman could potentially get to 500 career wins. He's got 484 across his illustrious coaching career. Evan Wainman is the batter. He swings through strike 1. Wainman 1 for 4. Gorman won the 2019 Junior College World Series at the Cumberlands. Then went over to Barton. Was over 30 games above 500 there, and he's now 16-7 in year 1 at Aiken. Lincoln's 0-1. Wainman's late once again, 0-2. CJ pitching with a bit more gumption at the moment. Over 3 innings into his relief outing, and he looks none the worse for wear. 1 strike away from a scoreless top of the 10th. Outside. Pacers trying to build some momentum into that bottom half and manufacture a game-winning run to take the series opener from Georgia Southwestern. 2 of the top teams in the Peach Belt so far squaring off. The 1-2 pitch. Prodded back foul. Wainman lunging out in front, but he's able to stay alive. Edwin Melendez is on deck if it gets that far. He worked a walk against C.J. Lincoln last time. Another 2-strike pitch. Another foul ball. Wainman not going down without a battle. He's already extended his hit streak to 6 games. Got it done with a base knock in the 6th inning against the starter Joe Rozier. Lincoln deals and misses inside. Good slider, better take. Wainman hopping up and down in that right-handed batter's box. He was in on that pitch all the way and able to hold off. An impressive feat in and of itself to run the count even. Lincoln, 7th pitch of the at-bat. In the dirt. Great block from Glisson. Full count. That means Helgeson will be off on the pitch. Infield will be thinking first base. Anything to the outfield. Helgeson trying to go first to third. Lincoln looking to do everything he can to end this inning right here and right now against Evan Wainman, the designated hitter. 3-2. Flown foul, and we will do it again. Wainman will see a 9th pitch of this at-bat, longest AB by any batter on either team so far. C.J. Lincoln, after the longest outing of his college career last time out, he went 6 1/3. Has now gone 3 1/3 in relief. Another 3-2. Lined into right center field. That will split the gap and shoot all the way to the wall. Helgeson rounding third. He will score without a play. Evan Wainman down to a 2-strike count. Gets the big RBI double and puts the Hurricanes in front. Pacers immediately yelling to touch third. They are saying that Helgeson did not touch the base, and safe is the call from the home plate umpire. So despite the protests from Keith Gorman, the call was not overturned on the fielder's choice. Helgeson got the safe call at first, and then Evan Wainman parlays a lengthy at-bat into an RBI double. Got a center-cut fastball and did not miss it. 21st RBI of the year for Wainman. Edwin Melendez takes ball 1, and Lincoln has deflated a little bit on the mound. Such a debilitating swing. Lincoln had him down 1-2 and just could not put him away. Melendez late 1-1. Pacers now need 1 to tie and 2 to win as the Hurricanes look for their first extra inning victory of the year. One and one. Changeup called strike inside corner. Lincoln trying to limit the damage. 1-2. Check swing outside. Donovan Glisson was headed back to the dugout before he realized he did not get the call. Was right around the outside corner, but because Donovan was set up in the middle third, he had to reach across his body, and as a result did not present it properly. Evens the count on Melendez, and he shoots it foul down the right field line. So the Pacers will have Melendez of their own, Osman Melendez, and then Harding and Jennings due up in the bottom of the 10th. Keith Gorman has been known to go to the pinch hitters time and again. We'll see if he does for Osman Melendez, who's 0 for 3. Have to end this top half first, though. Flown out right center field. Harding started back, now charges in. Gives way to Jennings. Chance makes the catch. But Evan Wainman, the 2-out, 2-strike, 2-bagger, brings home Helgeson from first and puts the Hurricanes in front. Looking for the extra inning win. It's 2-1 to the bottom of the 10th we go. Jackson Raper held off the Pacers in the bottom of the ninth. Despite having 2 on and 2 out, he induced a pop-up from Maverick Grigsby to keep the game tied and forced extras, and now he's in line for the potential victory if he can keep the Aiken offense at bay in a 2-1 game. Each of the last 2 wins for Georgia Southwestern have come by this score, and now they have the 1-run advantage in the bottom of the 10th. Osman Melendez will lead off, and he takes a breaking ball right down the gut for strike 1. Raper does not have a decision yet this year. No wins, no losses, but he was 4-4 last year. Melendez 2 Ks and a ground out. Takes it downstairs. Well, if Aiken can't come back here, it's going to be another instance in where C.J. Lincoln was great in a lengthy relief role, but he would take another tough luck loss if so. Slider, a very late called strike below the knees. That was about a ball and a half below the zone, and an indecisive umpire behind the plate makes the late call. Fans, coaches, parents, players, all voicing their displeasure, and now time is called by Keith Gorman for a meeting with Osman Melendez. And this may be as much about slowing down the temper of Melendez as anything else. Gorman unlikely to go anywhere until the home plate umpire comes to him, and he's unlikely to let the umpire go without a word or two. Umpire beckons Melendez back, and he will oblige. A 1-2 count after a great frame from the catcher Melendez. Edwin Melendez stole a strike on Osman. Couple big calls in this 10th going the way of the Hurricanes. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Osman down swinging. First strikeout for Raper. Back to the top for Evan Harding. He's 1 for 4.
Evan Harding.
First start in a couple weeks. Back in the lineup after dealing with some hamstring issue. Singled and scored the only run of the game for Aiken back in the bottom of the 6th against Evan Kroger. Fastball, called strike around the corner. Zone has expanded as the game has gone along, especially downstairs. It was a little bit generous inside to righties at the beginning. 0-1. Line back up the chute, base hit. Harding muscles it out into center field, and the tying run is on with 1 out. Not a bad pitch by Raper in any sense of the word. Tried to get it in on the hands, just caught a little too much plate. And now Chance Jennings, who has had a flair for the dramatic this year, including a game-tying homer that set up the walk-off wild pitch against Lynn, will be the batter representing the winning run. Jennings, 13 extra base hits this year, including a team-high 4 home runs. He is 0 for 4 today, however, and has struck out in his last 2 chances. Gets his first look at Jackson Raper. Outside, called strike 1. And the groans only getting louder with each passing close call. Multiple righties up in the bullpen for the Hurricanes, including Cooper Sane. 0-1. In the dirt, backhanded by Melendez. Sane is one of only 2 players that have a save for this Hurricanes relief corps. The other one is Rem Maxwell. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bounced out to second. Johnson goes to Reeves, gets the lead out. That's the only out available. Fielder's choice. Jennings 0 for 5, and the Pacers are down to their final out. Jackson Raper looking for his first win of the year and a big series opening W in extra innings. A clutch 2-out, 2-strike swing from Evan Wainman in the top half. An RBI double scoring Trip Helgeson from first and breaking the tie here in the 10th. First pitch to Diaz. High, ball 1. Diaz tied for the team lead in RBIs entering the day. Blake Martin has snatched the lead back for the moment. 1-0 on Diaz. Lines it into left field, past the dive of Reeves, base hit. A 3-hit day for Yariel Diaz. And the tying run is its second with good speed in Chance Jennings. Blake Martin has the only RBI of Aiken's day so far. He's 1 for 4. Laced a single back up the middle. Off of Kohler to score Harding back in the 6th. Melendez will go out to the mound to slow things down for Jackson Raper. Sane and Maxwell both up in the bullpen. Tying run at second. Winning run at first. Diaz not especially quick. Outfield is playing decently shallow all the way around. They're going to try to cut down Jennings on any base hit. Martin's 1 for 4. Scorched a line drive, turned into a 6-3 against Raper last time up. Shoots it foul. A little bit late, nothing in 1. Pacers looking to make some magic down to their final out in the 10th. Out hitting the Hurricanes 8-4. Pacers have left on 6. No balls and a strike. Cued foul, got it in on the hands. Nothing in 2 on Blake Martin. A couple good fastballs, well located by Raper. Blake Martin down to his final strike in the bottom of the 10th. With the tying and winning runs on. Raper, the 0-2. Misses high and outside. Still ahead in the count as he looks for his first win of the year. To push the Hurricanes further up the Peach Belt ladder. 1-2 on Blake Martin. Pulled down the right field line, falling fast. It drops in front of Harmon. Jennings will score. The throw into third is errant and not in time. It's another RBI knock for Blake Martin, and we are tied back up in the 10th. As level-headed a hitter as you will find at this level, and Blake Martin's propensity for the big moment shows up yet again. Just missed the barrel as he tried to yank it down the right field line, but with Harmon playing towards the gap, there was no chance to grab it. Harmon did well to hustle over and keep Diaz from turning round third, but now the game is tied and the winning run is 90 feet away. It's a blown save, or beg your pardon, a no decision at the moment for Raper. First pitch called a strike on Lamo, who's 0 for 3 with a hit by pitch. And worth noting, as we mentioned earlier, Edwin Melendez leads the conference in pass balls with 6 in 20 starts behind the plate. 0-1 on Lamo. Bounced out to second base. Johnson boots it, and the game is over. Kelson Johnson can't handle the routine ground ball, and down to their final strike, the Aiken Pacers get their third walk-off win of the year. It's a 3-2 win in 10. The E4, second error of the night for Southwestern, turns chaos into victory for USC Aiken. No RBI, and it could not matter less for Sal Lamo. Pacers score 2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th. We talked about the defense had been shaky on the left side of the dirt. Johnson had just 3 errors all season long, and he's unable to come up clean with that one. Kelson Johnson can't make the play, and the Pacers win 3-2. Your final lines for both teams: for Aiken, 3 runs, 9 hits, and 2 errors. The Pacers left on 7. For GSW, 2 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. GSW left on a man in 8 of 10 innings, and in total they left on 10. The win, and deservedly so, goes to C.J. Lincoln. He is now 3-1 on the year, whereas Raper takes the loss and falls to 0-1. Martin, the game-tying single, and then off the bat of Sal Lamo, the E4 wins it for the Pacers. 3 walk-off wins this year. They still don't have a walk-off hit, but they all count the same, and Aiken's now 2-1 in extras. Pacers now 17-7 and 7-3 in Peach Belt play. Southwestern falls to 14-10. They are also 7-3 in Peach Belt play. Tomorrow, these two teams are right back at it. 2 p.m. start, supposed to be absolutely gorgeous. And we can't wait to have you here once again. Expect Ben Shepard on the mound for the Pacers. Uncertain who we'll see for the Hurricanes. It could very well be Teffin Montgomery, who has had the Saturday start the last couple weeks, but expect a bullpen game if so. And we will be right here with you, going live a few minutes before first pitch at 2 o'clock on the Peach Belt Sports Network. And now, for our entire crew up here that has made it happen, I've been Noah Adcock. Howard, thank you so much for being with us. Brian Busher, Dave Fouth, and everybody that made it go. Pacers walk it off in 10. The E4 gets the job done. We'll see you back tomorrow afternoon.